Hi everyone and welcome back to Ask WSO. In today's video we're going to be covering the typically asked question, why finance? So a lot of you guys know this question is going to come up in your interview, but you're not sure exactly how you should answer it. Of course, there can be variations of this question too, like a more specific version, why investment banking, why private equity, why leverage finance, which is a group in investment banking. So you guys are definitely going to want to know how to answer that question because it's 99% of the time going to come up for sure. And you want to make sure that you're answering it the right way and you're not addressing anything that could be considered offensive or an instant ding. So in this video, we're going to cover that. I'm going to go through some Wall Street Oasis threads as well as the course answer that we have in our behavioral interview course. If you guys have any questions, make sure to comment down below and let's get started. Hi guys, so like I mentioned, the first thing I'm doing is heading over to the Wall Street Oasis site. And from here, I'm going to cover a different variety of resources that we can access to get these answers for you. Now, of course, why finance seems like a simple question. However, it can get a lot more specific than that. For example, why private equity? Why real estate? Why venture capital? Why investment banking? Or even why a particular section of investment banking? So an example of that would be leverage finance. Why leverage finance? Why mergers and acquisitions? So you're going to want to know how to answer all those specific questions in case you get asked that in an interview. The first thing I'm going to cover, of course, is the why finance question. Now, I would recommend if you guys ever have any questions to go over here to the sidebar and type them in and just search why finance. Once you've done that, you're going to have a ton of different results here. Some of them going over, like I said, private equity at specific firms, others going over why finance and the answer that they put themselves. Now, when I go to this why finance, it's going to give me a sample here, and I'm going to let you guys know this, that for any sector, the most important thing is regardless of the sector, private equity, venture capital, etc., you never want to focus on the money for this answer. You can make money in a lot of different industries, and most people go into finance with money being a key part of it. You don't want to mention that because A, it's pretty obvious, and B, you don't want to make that seem like that's your only interest. The reason for that is a lot of people who are only in careers for the money end up burning out, and that's just not going to make anyone want to work with you, and it's not going to make you seem like you're in it for the long haul. The things you're going to want to be focusing on, regardless of who you're interviewing with, are the deals you're going to be exposed to, about the people you're going to have the chance to work with, and about how the work is going to add value to you in your growing career path. Now, of course, these three things may seem broad, however, they can apply to any why finance or any more specific question on why you're looking to enter that specific field. Now, if you guys have any more niche questions on investment banking, we do have an investment banking course here, and if you click on that, it's going to head you over to this course information here. In the behavioral interview course, you're going to have access to a ton of different questions that are going to be asked in the behavioral portion, and one of those is going to be why investment banking. Just to give you guys a little snapshot of this, I'm going to go over a sample answer that it has just for this one question. After talking to a number of different people in the industry, I find two aspects of this job especially attractive. First, I see it as an incredible learning experience. I know that with the number of hours I will be working, I will essentially be gaining 4 years of work experience in only 2 years. I will learn so much, so fast, and this job will prepare me for anything I decide to do for the rest of my life. Additionally, I expect to thrive in an environment where I am rewarded for my performance rather than just showing up. I look forward to having the chance to take on responsibility at an entry level and prove my value through the quality of my work. I know this job can be extremely difficult, both physically and mentally, but I am ready for the challenge. Now, this answer may seem long, and of course you don't have to say this entire thing, but it gives you the gist and covers all the bases that I mentioned. It's not mentioning the salary, it's mentioning the deals or different things you're going to get exposed to, it's mentioning how this will add value to you in your career growth path, etc. Another important thing is that this acknowledges some of the hardships of the job. A lot of what they are worried about with new hires, like I mentioned, is longevity. Longevity, why? They don't want the revolving door syndrome where people just come in and they immediately quit. They want people who are in it for the long haul. So the fact that you are aware of the different troubles, whether it be the hours that you have to put in or the fast-paced work, it's good to mention that you're aware of that and that you plan on taking it all as a learning experience and moving forward. Also that you're going to provide value to the company. The course also has a ton of different information for this specific question, as well as other questions, and that revolves on the bank that you're working for. So what many people know is that Goldman Sachs is very aware of the personal questions that they're asking. They really like to get to know the person in terms of behavioral interview questions. That is very important for their interview process. However, you might go to a firm that's more interested on the deals aspect or the value add aspect. So you definitely want to read on the firm, their interview question and processes, and from that, learn how to answer the specific question in a way that you think will help you best get the job. Lastly, I would like to say, whenever going on this site, it's always good to look up the question that you have, whether it's why finance, why private equity, etc. You're going to get a ton of different information on those specific questions, and things can get really niche. So it's always great to look it up here because I guarantee you there's a thread that someone's already asked on it. And of course, if you don't find anything, feel free to post your own discussion board, and you're going to get answers from a lot of different experienced people here. Something I've also gone over in a previous video is our Wall Street Oasis company database, where we have information on a ton of different companies, including their interview processes. So if you're curious on a specific company that we have in our database, you can go over to their interview questions and see interview questions that people have been asked, the answer that they put, and their overall experience. Alrighty, everybody. I hope this video helped you out. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below, message any of my social media. All of the links will be in the description box below. And make sure that when you message me, you mention Wall Street Oasis so that I can make sure to respond as soon as possible. I hope you guys can give this video a thumbs up. You can subscribe to our channel and share the video with anyone you know who's trying to break into finance so we can expand our channel and so we can help as many people as possible out. Thanks again for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.